It was raining heavily that day. She stood on the courthouse steps in a miserable state, clutching a box of personal belongings that had just been cleared out. Her high heel slipped, and she crashed hard onto the ground, papers scattered everywhere. Yet not a single person was willing to step forward and help her. Some even stayed at a distance on purpose, waiting to see just how miserable she could become. The star lawyer who once made everyone in the courtroom afraid to look her in the eye now looked like someone the whole world had kicked aside. At the very moment she froze in despair, a black car slowly pulled up in front of her. The door opened, and a young woman in a sharp suit stepped out quickly. She did not even bother opening an umbrella. She crouched down at once and began picking up the documents from the ground one by one. Diana looked up and froze completely, because she did not recognize that face at all. But in the very next second, the young woman carefully took out an old business card from her wallet, one that had clearly aged but had been kept in perfect condition, and gently placed it in her hand. Diana's breathing stopped instantly, because it was the exact business card she had given that homeless little girl 15 years ago. The woman smiled, with tears in her eyes, and although her voice trembled, it was still firm. "Do you remember that little girl who once only dared to stand outside the restaurant and ask if she could take the leftovers? She never forgot." Diana stared at her blankly, and tears rushed into her eyes almost at once. She had never imagined that one small act of kindness from her would truly be remembered for 15 whole years. Lucia crouched down, wiped the rain and humiliation from her face, and said word by word, "Back then, you were the one who let me eat like a queen. From that day on, I told myself that one day I would stand in front of you and repay that kindness." As it turned out, Lucia had carried that night in her heart all these years as the light that kept her alive. She worked desperately during the day and studied late into the night. With scholarships, she fought her way into law school, and in the end, she became the youngest, toughest, and most unyielding elite lawyer in the city. And the first thing she did after coming back was not to show off her success, nor to let anyone know how much she had suffered, but to fulfill the promise she had carried in her heart for 15 years. Right there on the spot, she told Diana, "From this moment on, I'm taking this case, and I will not charge a single penny." What shocked Diana even more was that Lucia was holding a key piece of evidence powerful enough to completely turn the case around. Once it was made public, the powerful group that had joined forces to frame Diana would not be able to walk away unscathed. Diana looked at the little girl who had once been so small and hungry that she did not even dare ask out loud for a single bite of leftovers, and who had now grown into someone capable of shielding others from wind and rain. In the end, she could not hold back any longer, and asked through tears, "Why would you do this much for me?" Lucia looked at her, her voice so soft it hurt. "Because when the whole world treated me like trash, you were the only one who treated me like a human being." Like and comment. Part 3 will tell you what evidence Lucia actually got, and how